Hi, long time no see. Are you kidding me? My camera's out of it. Okay, welcome back. I haven't made a video in a really long time. It's mainly because I got really stressed. I graduated college. It's now August. I've had the whole summer and I'm also moving to Spain in 3 weeks. So that is what this video is going to be about. The whole moving to Spain process has been a process, and when I first decided I wanted to move to Spain, I wanted a lot of resources, and the amount of resources that I had just was not as much as I wanted. But I'm gonna be talking about Nalcap and how I'm able to move to Spain. And if you are looking to move to Europe and move abroad, I think this program, I mean, I haven't done it yet because I'm obviously moving in 3 weeks, and I've watched a lot of videos, but the videos never talk about the process leading up to you going and like the process of like applications and everything. This is going to be me explaining the whole Nalcap process leading up to you leaving for Spain. Okay, so Nalcap is a teaching abroad program, so I will be an English auxiliary in Spain. So all the research that I have found is that you're pretty much just assisting the teacher. I could be doing anything between like doing like fun games with the kids, doing just like conversations with the kids. The school that I will talk about in a little bit that I got placed at, I'm be working with children that are between like kindergarten and like 4th grade, and you can be working with like any class, and you also get assigned a teacher or teachers. Also, you could be doing like one-on-one conversations with the kids and just having normal conversations, and you're just helping them, you know, learn English. Also, you'd be going around like the classroom helping them with like their workbooks or anything like that. Also, the biggest thing, it's a 4-day work week. I don't know what other job you can have where it's a 4-day work week and then you get to travel Europe. I just think it's like the perfect situation. I don't know what type of work week I'll have. Like, I could have a Monday through Thursday or Tuesday through Friday. It's either one, and it depends on the school that you're going to be at, and you won't really know until you get there. Okay, so that's the program. Now moving on to the application process. So the application opens like end of January, like mid-February. I remember I decided to do it after the Super Bowl, and the application was already open. So I'll put the date of what date it opens, and then the application closes in the end of March. I'll put the date right here. So you have a short period of time to send in your application, but it's really important to send in your application as soon as you can. And so what you need for your application, and by the way, it is free, it's no cost. That's also why I chose to do Nalcap. You need to be in school, like enrolled in college or university, or you need to already have a degree. That could be a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree. The biggest part for me and like the hardest part was getting a recommendation letter, and that's the next thing you need. I asked my sorority advisor, and that was only hard because she took so long to do it. It just was making me anxious because I wanted to submit my application like fast. When you send in your application, they give you an application number. My application number was like 6,700, and when they start rolling out acceptances and placements, so you know where you're going to be placed in Spain, they do it by application number. So I was 6,700 in line to get my placement, and so that meant everyone that did it before me was getting priority. So that's pretty much how that works. So next is a personal statement. That kind of scared me because a lot of people are saying that like it's an essay. It's literally like a 400 word, 300 word paragraph, just literally introducing yourself. In my paper, I introduce myself, I talk about where I go to school, where I'm from, kind of like, you know, just like a cover letter for like a resume. And I also just gave some background about like anything that would help me in my application. So I was a ski instructor in the last 2 winters, and so I just said like I worked with kids under 12 and just things like that. My boyfriend is doing the program with me, and he's been a substitute teacher for the last 2 years, so he had that to put in his letter. If you have none of that, that's also okay. I was feeling really insecure that I didn't have any like teaching or like working with kid experience, but I don't think that that is the most important thing, but just really set yourself up and make yourself sound like a strong, capable person that can go over to Spain and help children learn English. The next and last part is your passport. You have to have your passport because you have to like photocopy it and send it in on your application. Next, the waiting game. This actually might be the hardest part, was just waiting. So I submitted my application at the like middle of March, and my boyfriend and I submitted it at the same time. It was a month later when I got my acceptance. So you get your acceptance, which just says that all of your information, like your passport and everything, meet all of the qualifications and that you're moving forward to possibly get a placement. It doesn't mean you're 100% guaranteed a placement, but it just means that all of your stuff meets all the requirements. I heard here and there that there are people that didn't have their portal set up right. They maybe didn't have a profile picture on their portal, or their information just didn't meet the qualifications, and that is when they would not accept you. Then I got accepted April something, and I then waited all the way until June 13th to get my regional placement. My region will be Andalusia, and on your application you will rank the regions that you want. And so I put Andalusia, Basque Country, and then Catalonia. Basque Country is in like northern Spain. Andalusia, which I'm gonna be at and I'm so excited, it's in South Spain. And Catalonia is the region that Barcelona's in. If you do the application, you'll realize that you can't just pick any region. They put them in like buckets. So like Andalusia and the most other popular regions were also in the same buckets. So I had to pick one of them. Basque Country was in its own bucket of different regions, and Catalonia was in its own. So you have to pick one in each of these 3 buckets, and so that's why I chose what I chose. So I got my acceptance to Andalusia on June 13th. I was so happy because I had been waiting 2 months for that. My graduation was June 15th, so I was really hoping that I was going to get my placement by graduation, just because like it would be nice to know where I was going to go by graduation. And it was getting really close. Like I had family in town, and then I got the email just one morning, and it was like the happiest. I was so happy. And then I was just like researching Andalusia and just like looking at images because it is such a beautiful region. So then I moved back home. I graduated college. About like 2.5 weeks later, that is when I got the email saying that I could pick my school. Every region is different, so everything I'm going to say from here on out is going to be dependent on like my region, which is Andalusia, obviously. For Andalusia, they allow you to pick the school. For me, because my application number was so far down the line and there's like 10,000 applicants, I was really late to the game. So when I got the email saying I could go into the portal and pick my school, there was not a lot of options. So my top place in city I really wanted to be in was either Sevilla or Malaga, and those were all like booked out. Or the schools that were in those like counties, I would say, I forget the name that they call it, but say like in the county of Sevilla, the school that I could have chosen for that was like an hour and a half away from the city center, and that's just why I didn't choose. And that kind of was the situation for a lot of the big cities. My boyfriend and I, we sat down, because him and I are getting the emails all at the same time. We sat down and we just started like researching all of the schools and cities that were available, and we started kind of ranking them, because you only had 3 days to make your school placement and like put it in and like put all your information. Otherwise, I don't know what would happen. You just don't get your school placement. Anyway, so we ended up picking Cordoba, and I'm really excited. It's about an hour away from Malaga and an hour away from Sevilla, so I'm really excited about that. It's still a major city. I'm not going to share the school that I'll be working at, obviously. The school I'll be working at is about, I would say, either between 30 minutes and an hour away commute. I'm not going to say it specifically. But next part, after you get accepted, there's a lot of things you have to do to get your visa ready, and I can make a separate video on that because I feel like that's a whole other video. But it pretty much took me all summer to get all my documents ready for my visa. And I started doing my I started gathering stuff for my visa right after I got my school placement, which was June 20th. And it took me all the way until August 1st to be able to submit my visa. Visas usually take between 5 and 6 weeks, or 5 and 8 weeks. So I'm on week 3. My visa went to the San Francisco consulate, and I've been reading like on Reddit and like all these Facebook groups. They've been saying like the soonest someone got it was like 3 weeks. So I'm at any point I could get my visa. So the next part for me is going to Spain and finding an apartment. So my boyfriend and I, we haven't booked our flight yet. We are waiting to get our visa, or at least by the end of August. Today is August 20th. So by the end of the month, we're gonna book our flight. And we're flying to Paris from San Francisco because that's the cheapest route for us, and we're just buying a one-way ticket, obviously. We're gonna spend a few days in Spain, we're gonna spend a few days in Paris, which I'm so excited about, because we just love Paris and we have really wanted to go, and so we're gonna do that as like a little trip. We're gonna fly from Paris to Andalusia and start apartment hunting. Nalcap, I've gotten a lot of questions about this on TikTok because I post a lot more on TikTok, but they don't help with the move and they don't help with anything actually at all. Finding housing is all up to yourself. A lot of people, I'm obviously gonna be living with my boyfriend, but a lot of people in the Facebook groups that I'm in have just already been like looking for like a roommate or a housemate or anything. So if you are going alone, that's how that works. It's just like kind of in college when you're like, hey, looking for an apartment. But we'll be going down there, staying in an Airbnb or hostel and looking for an apartment. And we're going 3 weeks before school starts. School starts on October 1st. So we'll have 3 weeks to look for an apartment. quite honestly, we're not that stressed about doing it in a timely manner because I don't want to find a place that I don't feel comfortable in or that is like inconvenient or anything like that. So anyways, that is all that I'm gonna say for now. I have a lot more that I feel like I could share, like housing and expenses and everything like that. The whole money aspect of it all is really not that crazy, and it's very, very doable. Like, trust me, it is very doable if you make it work and you're wanting to make it happen. I'm really excited. I could get my visa any day now. I mean, I could be in my mailbox right now and I don't know, but I'm really excited, and I'm really excited to share my journey with you guys. I'm gonna be vlogging a lot more. The move and the thought of moving has been kind of stressful because like I can't really do anything. Like, I can't buy my flight. I haven't packed yet. Like, I still have 3 weeks to go, even though like I really just want to like get things done. But I'm gonna be making travel vlogs and, you know, back to my normal content. I'm really excited for this next journey of mine. I'm gonna be doing a lot of traveling, seeing new places, living in Spain. I'm just like so excited. I'm so scared, but I'm so ready, and I can't believe it's actually happening. So make sure to stay tuned, make sure to subscribe, like, and make sure to ask any questions that you have, or follow me on my social media, and I'll see you next time. Bye.